Well, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another week with Flying with Mike. And a pretty good week at that. I mean, granted, there's only two shows, so that makes it a great week. There's only two times I can fly this week. No, but it's here in the States, Thanksgiving week. Week where we give thanks, for all that we have, folks. I mean, some may look back and go, "No, really a lot to be thankful for,
You
folks."
love me! You
Every breath
really
you
love
take
me!
is a real gift to you, and you
Walker
should be thankful.
125 just
So
subscribed for 29
I
months.
love
We
this
key.
week and from here out. Hawker, thank you so much for the resubscribe. You've been around 29 months. Yikes! Wow. Thank you, sir, so much, and we appreciate you. Oh, by the way, he's one of our moderators, our only moderator, I should say, and he also occasionally, and I do use the word occasionally, kind of light, comes up in streams, and you can find out, as you just saw, it kind of went through it kind of quick. Did it even go through? I don't think it went through. Let me try again. Oh, yeah, it did. My bad. I just am not reading well today. Um, but check him out. Head over and check out his awesome stream. Give him a follow. And by the way, check his project he has going on with a real Hawker fuselage into a simulator. But again, thank you, Hawker, for the resubscribe. Sure appreciate it. All right, folks, sitting on the line. I know, doesn't look anything like the promotion of this. Wait a minute. No, I thought I saw a mountain in the distance, just a highway overpass. Wait, there's some hills. There we go. No, seriously, folks, we're out in Altus, Oklahoma. Pretty flat out here. It's kind of getting close to the Rockies, but they're still kind of far off in the distance. But we're headed to Roswell, Mexico. Folks, those of you not familiar with this place, back in the late 40s, there was a huge incident that occurred that then kind of simmered down, and then in the 70s, 80 time frame exploded again. They had an unusual event occur, and I'm going to say it, a UFO crashed out in the farm field of this guy, and and you can say UFO, folks. That's the thing. Back then, you said that word, you lost your flight wings, you lost your ability to control towers. You were pretty much considered a weirdo. Actually, way beyond weirdo. I mean, they took everything from you, and reasons unknown. That's what's helped fuel the conspiracy. But there was a crash out there of something. I tend to think it really was extraterrestrial, but we'll never know because the way the government works is they feed the conspiracy. So to kind of deflect from the reality of it. That's why Area 51, when they opened it up, there's nothing there. So, but anyway, it got hidden. They took all the pieces to Fort Worth and then on to Dayton, Ohio. And then from there, we don't know the story too much. Um, but in the ensuing, and I mean, they came out with metal and everything, very weird metals and all found there. They were not balloons, weather balloons. Sorry, government, that one you'll never get to fly with me. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they were Chinese balloons. I wasn't thinking. Chinese did it. So, anyway, folks, we're headed there. And the funniest thing I've heard since this incident and all that I have read on it, um, they did an interview of all people, Demi Moore. If you're not familiar with Demi Moore, she's an actress. St. Elmo's Fire, G.I. Jane, and I'm sorry, Demi, I'm probably hitting the worst movies you ever did. But anyway, those were some of the movies she was in. There was a long list. But anyway, married Bruce Willis, if that helps anyone. But anyway, I guess in this interview, the way it sounded, she was born and raised in Roswell. Didn't know that. And the question was asked of her: what do you take of this UFO thing that occurred here in Roswell? And of course, Roswell is feeding to this day still on that event. It's a big event. What the heck? You know, they can make a lot of money on it. And she goes, I never heard of it. Now, to her defense, that's a possibility. Considering when you look at her lifestyle and things she did in her life, it could be all a haze. And I don't mean that very meanly to you, Demi. Uh, but you just, that wasn't something you watched. But she said, I never knew of any of that had occurred in Roswell's past. So, but anyway, so I digress. Let's get up here. We are in the ZIBO 737 here at Altus Air Force Base over across the border in Oklahoma. Okay, couple of borders. But anyway, we're going to take the C-40 here for Sim Air Force, and we're going to head over to Roswell. Now, back in that day, it was called Walker Air Force Base. Well, actually, I thought it was Roswell Air Force Base, but reading through, of course, the very authoritative Wiki News, Wiki information sites, very, authoritative, always accurate. um, they called it Walker Air Force Base. Don't know the reasons completely behind it, other than a guy in World War II, they named a lot of bases got named that way, airports and bases. But we're going to take this ZIBO. Now, ZIBO is already one of my outright favorite aircraft in X-Plane 12. It is right up there with Fearless that we've been flying, Tolus. I mean, it is just one of those must-haves. You know, like when you were in Flight Simulator before this new one, the must-have was PMDG. If you don't have PMDG, you're flying trash. Well, may still be the same, but here in ZIBO, I'm here to tell you folks, you are flying PMDG, except it's not PMDG, and you haven't broken any banks to own it. You haven't had to borrow an arm and a leg from your neighbor because you ran out of arm and a leg to pay for it, from both the sim and getting and staying up to date with your PMDG product. This is free, and he just amped it up a few more levels, folks. Now, we're hoping to showcase some of this. Keyword in that sentence is hoping. I think we're going to get some of it, but not all of it. But we're going to do our best. So be ready for a long ground display here, because ZIBO has added a neat tool to the arsenal. Let me show it to you. Let's get up in the cockpit. All right, now this comes to you, folks. Let me show you with the latest available update from the Google Drive that ZIBO uses. Version release candidate 5.8. Now he's already testing 5.9. I don't know what flight they were up to as of this morning, but they're already testing the next goodies we're going to get, or performance, whatever it's going to be. They're already testing. So what are we looking at here? Let me, and by the way, if you want to know what you're at with ZIBO, click the question mark anytime in the EFB, which has always been with ZIBO. Just came with PMDG here not too long. This has always been there. Anyway, so you first off set up your flight plan in SimBrief. Okay, once you have activated, now I also really now recommend Here, let me just, we're going to hold our place right here. I'm going to bring up Sim Toolkit, and this will also allow us to kind of transition into a little bit of a pre-brief. Okay, so with Sim Toolkit, I have SimBrief. Look at that. I make it a one-stop shop for planning. And by the way, this is available for all your simulators. Doesn't matter what you're flying. Tags in with Microsoft and X-Plane here. It's free. Also, folks, you just have to register. And oh my goodness, with many platforms out there, not just ZIBO, Tolus, Flight Factor, and probably a lot of stuff over in that other simulator. A lot of stuff now integrate through this. What a website this has become. You know, it started off as just a dynamite flight planning site where you go there, plan your flight out minus the performance. Okay, that's always been a problem. But you could get grade A flight plans. I mean, the stuff the airlines are using. You could look at your flight plan, go to FlightAware and go, my flight just flew that. How about that? That's pretty cool. So you're getting real, true flight planning in here. Good performance in your flight plan, but not for your aircraft. Kind of hope to explain a little bit of what I just said there when we get to that in the setup of ZIBO. But it is just outright a great program. So let's go to our current flight. Okay, so I set this up, and then I hit generate, and this is what you get. Now, hang on a second. I'm trying to find out which one I'm in the American Air. Okay, you can choose which operational flight plan layout you want this to print like. I'm using American. I kind of like the way it comes up, but Lido is just as good, which is actually what is default. So if you make your flight plan, don't change a thing, smash generate, you'll get it in that form. That aside, this page right here is always now the same. It is when you get down here, briefing preview, that's where that format will show. You're on here. Actually, including, I'm sorry, even if you're just on the web with. All right, so we've made our flight plan. We can see, yeah, what, 46? Yeah, we're in the years before deregulation. We're in the years of the U.S. Air Force airline. So, but you can see what we're doing here. Hour and 3-minute flight. We're going to travel about 350 miles, winds, and such. All right. Now, when you're done here, you come up here, flight plan downloads. You may have seen this. It may not show it now because I've already done it. Where you can get the downloader, flight plan downloader. With ZIBO, I highly recommend it. What does that? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show it. Try. No, I'm not going to be able to. But anyway, you get the downloader. Check off what you want to download, where you want those files to go, and go from the end. Just let it download, and you're going to get the correct 737-800 files for ZIBO, the XML, and a few other things that come down that you check off. So if you check other airplanes, they're going to be their flight plans going into those fields too. Some aircraft have them in their own folders. Case in point, the Flight Factor 767. All right, we've done all of that. Now we come in, get our plane to our setup. Okay, we're going to accept the aircraft, which is basically check our flight recorder. Yeah, good. Airspeed checks. Is it quiet? Oh, I know why. There we go. I turned it down because the generator was loud. Alright, so hang on, let me get rid of Sim Toolkit here. Okay, your oxygen's guarded, 3 green, gears down locked, oxygen looks good, dome lights off, service interphone off, radio good, reversers are not open, and electric engine controllers are on. 2 engines, so there should be 2. ELT is armed, and your flaps and leading edge devices are. That is your quick acceptance. Also, you want to make sure parking brake is set. That's pulled. Lights are set the way you want them. You can also perform your fire check right now. And last but not least, cargo. Alright, so everything checks out good. Alright, so we go back now and let's pre-brief, okay? I'm going to bring Sim Toolkit back up. Alright, so we've we'll hide this. Alright, so as you can see, we're going to go ahead and get rid of Sim Brief right now. Do it the easy way. Altus METAR. Winds are out of the north at 18, and we got 10 miles of visibility. However, with that, we have a broken layer at 1,900 feet. Now, folks, that's important, especially for landing, because now we're going to be into clouds for a little bit down. The nice thing is when you're landing here, you're going to break out with about 10 miles of visibility. That's cool. Takeoff could be restricted depending on setup there. But it's 16 degrees here and 297. How is it in Roswell? Don't know. Let's find out. Again, a north wind. However, it's at 16 with gusts to 23. It's also 10 miles and it's clear. So 16 also there, 3002. So again, 2 beautiful, well, for the most part, days. And then you get your lovely loadout here, 46 peeps. They're all signing their NDAs, so we're good there. Payload of 10,580 and zero fuel weight will be really low on this. 102,474 pounds. Second, I'm getting Top Cat fired up. Okay, I know I had this airplane, but it's somewhere in it. There it is. Oh. All right, there we go. 6. All right, there we go. All right, we'll go from there in a minute. All right, so there's your loadouts. Cost index is 28, and they're giving us 38,000. With 354 miles, yeah, we should be able to get up there with no trouble. All right, let's kind of zoom in. Looks like Fort Worth is wanting to play today. So we'll kind of take a look at our flight plan and see how things go. All right, so there you have the flight plan and pre-brief. So let's play. So how do you get to this page? Okay, we've done our stuff up top. Let's make sure everything's complete. Oh, I didn't do some of it. Sorry. Got the downstairs here done. We did our checks. Brake set. Okay, speed brakes we want down. Flaps need to be 0 and showing 0. So we're good there. Stave trims are set, and we'll get this trim time from him. So we are ready to go on that end. All right, so, and the elusive AC-DC switch for Hawker is set to ground power. Not sure if you can hear this over the AC-DC music, but you never know. And while I'm here, I'll go ahead and do a cross-feed check. Make sure it goes light blue when it's on. Turn it off. It should go dark. Perfect. Perfect. And fuel pumps are off. Trim air on. Electric pumps off. And isolation valve. And I've already set in our landing and flight altitude information. All right. So let's, from this point, we then go over here to the EFB. Now, we really don't have anything, believe it or not, yet to do here. If this works out like it did the first time I've done this, go to weight and balance. We're not going to play here yet. Go to airside services. Okay. Go to page 2 by clicking that triangle. Activate. And see, hey, oh, it did already, folks. Opened up the aircraft. Maybe. It's already down, wasn't it?
Ground flight deck hose disconnected and starting a refueling.
I didn't do that, folks. And now they're starting behind us. Again, none of this I've done, and you can see as of right now, nothing packs or cargo has been loaded. All right, we'll keep it here for now as we move. Okay, let's go up top here. I've got this display select on the IRS display to heading status. Let's go to align. DC, DC, good. Nav. Wait, I'm really sorry, folks.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
And nav, and nav. I want to check our fuel speed. 1,291. I bet. Okay, cargo is now 100%. Let's look out there. And doors are beginning to open up. Folks, again, I'm not doing this. That is all ZIBO doing this. Soon the passengers will start boarding. They're done and ready. Alright, so let's keep going. Sure. Line to line, we have 6 minutes. So we're going to use that 6 minutes with the checklist. So the cabin utility power and IFE passenger switches, these two are on. Equipment normal. No smoking is on. And turn the fasten seatbelt on. Emergency lights are armed. Exterior lights are set. Position, everything else is on. Day is 20th, okay. Window heat is on, probe heat is off. Alright, let's go to the IRS. Okay, currently, there's our model. Everything everything's looking good here. Go to position and it. Don't have to put in KLTS unless you want to. Bam. Okay. Next page, let's take the right side. That's what I use for even days, left side for odd days. And put it in for IRS position. Well, plug it in there, folks. And then we're going to do our flight plan request. Uplink ready. And our cruise is ready. Let me just do the next page. CDS dumps CME. That sounds like a news story. Anyway, oh, got it here. So, CDS dumps to CME. J166. Perfect. Clear. Activate. Alright, and there, folks, we are set with our route. And to that point, now, let's go back and see where we are on 18% of our pupils have straggled on. So they are beginning to board. So let's pick up the pace a little bit, okay? Propedes on. Anti-ice off. I'm sorry, Propedes off. Anti-ice off. Electric pumps are off. Engine pumps are on for the hydraulics. Fuel pumps right here, all off. Now this is really not the proper way to do these panels. Usually you go down, 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 and against.
Guys, the wheel's on board.
Alright, well they're gonna have to wait on us, so hope they enjoy their seats. Trim air's on, right there. Left and right recirculators, right there on. Our condition and aft are good and set to auto. And finally, engine bleeds are on. Isolation valve open. Our packs are in the auto position. And the aircraft has been fueled, so here comes the AP. Sorry, folks, it's kind of rapid fire now. Firing up back there. Waiting for the blue right here. The generator is available. Then new off, need on. AP gen.
Boarding is now complete. Flight attendants prepare the cabins. Verify arm doors, standby for all call.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Alright, with that sound behind us, folks, I took a pause for a second. Still got a little work to do on the FMC and getting that all set up. Let's take a look outside. All of that, folks, occurred without me touching the EFB. You saw it. That is such an awesome thing. I don't know if the other sim has this, but this is so cool what ZIBO is bringing to us. And what is even more cool about it, it's free. I can't stress that enough, folks. Get this mod. It's free. If you're on YouTube, it's down in the More section. Look for the links, go over, install it. It is an absolute dynamite 737. You're going to swear you're flying PMDG in X-Plane. And it's ZIBO, and that man has done phenomenal work here with Laminar, and I'm sorry, with ZIBO. I don't know how the two relate with Laminar, but he has done a phenomenal mod. I love it, folks. The only thing you're going to say is, well, the Air Force doesn't really have 737-800s. Hey, right. No? Okay. I'm giving the generals a little bit more leg. All right, so just dynamite that we've gotten all the way to this point, folks. Percent passengers, percent of the cargo, 99% now of the fuel because of, and here it is. Oh, it's we gotta go to page 2. My bad. There it is. It's just phenomenal what this has become, and I can't wait to see what else is in the works. All right, we still got a little bit of work to do up here, so let's go to the position in it. We planned 12 point, I'm gonna put 12.2. Ended up with 12.3. Try this and see if it fills this in. I can't remember, but it does a great job here. And I have yet to get it fully confirmed. I don't know if this data here is correct. I think it is, but I haven't gotten it confirmed. 102.5, 102.5, good. Okay. Costa Reserve. Now in the LIDO, folks, this is actually pretty cool. You can get this number real easy in there. And anything else, you just got to add up your burn to your alternate. Just drop. It's this case, we're going to Albuquerque, so it's 3,000 pounds plus our 45-minute reserve. Oh, 30-minute on this one. My bad. 1.9, so that's 4.9, and 5.2. All right, we're going to go for 380. It said we could go as high as 41, which I think is ceiling. Our cruise winds, okay, now they are different than our flight plan, so I don't know if that's a snapshot, that cruise winds that you saw updating. So it could be. Let's go to N1. Here's where we take over. Okay. I hate to say it, but yeah, we take over at this point. It doesn't do this part. And a lot of this comes down to a pilot. Okay. So we're running with a 0 fuel weight of, jump here, 102,474. Close enough. 1, 2, 2, 2, 9, 2. Wait, seeing this. Stand by. Okay. Try this again. There we go. Okay. Hang on a second, folks. Sun's really hitting me in the eyes. Stand by. All right, folks, sorry for that. Ooh, the sun just nailed me in the eyeballs. All right, so trip fuel, 5,523. Okay. 500 on the taxi. All right, so you can see we have 6.2 remaining here. All right, but we're not going from there to there. We're going KLTS to KROW. And our alternate, KABQ. All right, so let's go to the takeoff page. We are going to be using (3.6). Bear with me, folks. 3.6. We could use 3.6. Now let's just use 3.6 left. (3.6) left. Here's the parameters. We got a 13,000 foot runway, 355 plus a, and we will put the slope in, folks. Okay, over here we need to click update. Okay, you saw the winds change, 340 at 17, temperature 17, altimeter 2977. And one more time on the update. No mention of rain, so we'll be okay with this. And we're going to go ahead and use engine ice. Now, if you had MELs, engine limitations, maintenance, you can edit them. There are none for this profile right here. Some of them do. So you could go in. You could, if you know you're going to take off from taxiway intersection, blah blah, you can find out what the head feet is or the end feet and shorten it so the parameters lessen. You know, there's a lot you can do with this program. It is payware, but there's a lot you can do. All right, so let's hit compute. Surveys at 114, is that correct for the weights? Stand by, folks. Hopefully it's not moving around on you. Hide. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure takeoff weight was good. All right, so if we derate our takeoff 2, 58 degrees, we're going to get climb, or our takeoff at 131 V1. That's our safety speed. At that speed or less, folks, we can stop the aircraft. Above that speed, we're committed to take off. So if we lose an engine at 132, we're committed to fly the plane as best we can. Again, we'll explain a couple things here in a second. 135 is what it's going to take to clear a 50-foot obstacle. We'll need 6,000 feet of runway, and here's the reason we derate. You're all going, well, you need 100% of power to get that plane in the air there, Captain. No, you don't. Believe it or not, they're so powerful that at 86% of that N1 blade, you can achieve takeoff, climb. Well, climb will vary. It'll all depend on where you are in the climb. It'll vary, and you'll see it right here with this green information here and the green carrots here where it's set to max out at. Okay, so, and the reasoning behind this, folks, smashing that engine at 100 to 100+% power, you're wearing and tearing that engine. Folks, that's multi-million dollars sitting out there. You want them to make it to their major overhaul points, so you're not wasting money literally out the tailpipes on them. You need, so they pull the power back. Now granted, it's not a lot, but they're pulling it back enough to get those engines to those time intervals for when the overhauls occur and maintenance. So like I said, it's 1, takes the plane out of service, 2, Those engines are expensive. So um, that's why they don't necessarily run them at what you think is full power. Really isn't full power. You ever watched a submarine or a Navy movie and you hear the captain scream at the engineer, I need 115% power. I can only give you 105%. We're still over 100%, folks. I need 115. Give it to me now. And miraculously, of course, we know the engineers find it. But what I'm saying is, you see, they can do it there. They can do it in a jet as well. And it's easier to see if I went to TO, and then you would see the base N1 here go up to, if not over, 100%. All right, so we know after that long dissertation there, we're going to run at 86.9. So let's set for TO2, 58 degrees. Now this I really can't explain to you. I don't fully understand how the temperatures react and all that, but it works. Somebody's in the house. Welcome aboard, Bad Attitude. Hope you're having a great day. And in case I don't get to see many of you this week because of the fact of the holiday, happy Thanksgiving to you all. All right, so let's push on here. So we're talking about getting this N1 limit set up. So we've got our 58 degrees in, 86, we're calling 86.9, they're calling 86.3. It's pretty close, folks, even though it's really set up for Microsoft. That's pretty doggone close right there. All right, now let's go to the next page, takeoff. Click CG. Unfortunately, again, here ZIBO isn't interacting like it did up to this point. But, folks, it's amazing to this point what he's gotten it done, and the aircraft to still be free. All right, so we got that in. Let's go to page 2 first. Next page. Put in our runway and wind. Runway. Wind is 340 at 17. 340 diagonal 17. Okay, so this is something, this whole page, many streamers, and if streamers miss it, I'll bet many of you flight sim pilots miss this too. It just helps to fine-tune the performance data in the aircraft that's there in front of you a little further by telling it, hey, we have a slope here of 0.2. Oh, can we put that in? Yeah, just put plus is up, minus is down. I think you all figured that out probably. Then you just put 0 point whatever, in this case 2. Got another diagonal to put in, and runway heading here at 355. Now, this is what many of them do not account for. Is the runway wet? Is the runway contaminated? Wet is technically a contamination, but by a snow, ice, any of that, you could go to SK/R. And then you check here. These numbers can be changed. I leave them. And then I go back to where we were. All right, so you saw flaps 1 and 131, 131, 135. Folks, it is dead on with Top Cat. So while we're in the commercial break here, I want to be able to come back and let them see that. Give me a second. I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, folks, sorry for that interruption. The cold of last week has really wreaked havoc with the stomach, and I don't like taking chances. All right, so where we left off, we were programming. Again, there's our runway wind, 340 at 17, our slope. You can see it right there on Top Cat. Heading, also right on Top Cat. Came back, put in our flap number, and if you notice on Top Cat, I'll highlight it. Hopefully, looking over on the screen. Yep. 131, 131, 135 it predicted. Look at that. Normally, we're not that. There's times where it's off. Lately, it has been hammering it really well, folks. All right, and then I turned the QRH off just so I don't see them. And folks, we're ready to go. And again, thank you for... Yeah, I know Top Cat's still up there. I'm getting ready to pull it down. So far, by the way, bad attitude, I am loving it. You don't have to touch anything in the EFP other than to come over here. And a recap real quick here before we press on and get this thing ready to roll. Hang on.
Deck to chair, Captain, for the ride. It looks like it should be pretty good. So we're planning on a smooth ride. Get you there as soon as we can and as safe as we can. We'll talk to you once we get airborne. Welcome over.
All right. Okay, had to let him say his words. All you guys, again, have to do, go to weight and balance, airside services, page 2. You'll see something down here about your load plan if you used it in SimBrief. Otherwise, put your information here. Activate. You don't have to do any of this, or even these, folks. It does it for you. Matter of fact, I'm kind of curious. Okay, and it even, bad attitude, put the air stare out. So, I mean, I'm thoroughly, this is just phenomenal what ZIBO has given us for free. Thank you again, ZIBO, so much. What a great product. So let's button the plane up. It's, well, what am I saying? It's already buttoned up. We got a couple of things here to do. I'm going to do it from here because I think we can do it right here. We said the altimeter was, hang on, I'm trying to use, all right, 2977. Back off just a little. Okay. Go to 400 here. And all right, so that takes care of minimums and barrows. All right, so let's get in the middle here and let's get this thing going. Okay, first thing up is our speed, 135, so let's go to 145. I like B2 plus 10 for my initial climb speed, 355 here. That's our heading. And I don't think we have any altitude restrictions out of here. No, we do not. Okie-3. The heck is an Okie-3 departure? Why didn't it take? Interesting. All right. So let's quickly brief that. Here we go. We're just going to use charts. I know I said SimBrief is a one-stop place. This is just quick and down and dirty. Real quick, Altus departure, Fort Worth Centers. Airport is 1,382 feet above sea level. Okay, that's not bad out here. We fly at a lot of airports in that range from Kansas City out west. It's when you get to places like Roswell, Denver, Aspen, and places like that where the numbers can get really into high altitude. We're going to be at about 3,900 feet above sea level at Roswell. So be ready for these numbers when you go above ground level to be, oh, yeah, you're right there, it seems like. Initial climb 9,000. We're going to keep climbing to 38,000. And so you can see we're going to go here to Budbee, Jungo. Actually, we got to put those in. Glad I did this, folks. Oh, wait, they're already in. Let's verify this real quick. Yep, Budbee, Jungo, Kennel, Oki. Next, CDS. Okay, and then we're going to be track it dumps on the J166 to CME. Oh, okay, I see. I'm trying to figure out how it works. So we'll turn south, then out. Okay, my bad. Okay, and then we'll enter the patterns out here for the appropriate runway. And again, I think, real quick look, we're planning. Okay, I'm going to have to look it up. Three, 5. Serious? We're going for the thin run? We may end up on this one, runway 3. We'll see how the approaches look once we're airborne. Because we're going to pretty much go from climb to a little bit of a cruise to down, descent. All right. All right, so you can see how this departure looks. We've got it pushed in here. We're going to leave it as is. We're going to have to get on it real quick. All right, so we're ready to go, folks. Final stuff here. Okay, flight directors are auto throttle off. Indicated cruise altitude fuel flow switch reset. Minimums and aero altitude set. Landing gear down 3 green. Speed brake up or down. Flaps up 0 0. Thrust lever. Okay. And engine start levers are in the down cutoff position. Parking brake set. Passengers have boarded. Folks, we are ready to go. How did that take us? So I was kind of curious how long the process is. So it basically is a turnaround, folks. 58 minutes. That's about what they do, folks. When I watch them with the A320, A319s here, it's a 40-minute deal, 45 minute. So with me having to use the restroom and all of that, yeah. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. I love this. This is awesome. Little Christmas gifts here from ZIBO. All right, so let's get up here, get that yaw damper on. And let's get off the generator. Pull the chocks. One last look. Everything's clear, ready for us to go. Hit it. Alright. Packs off. Packs have to be off, folks, for engine start. Beacon on. Alright, system. On. System on. And packs are off. Alright. So what we're going to be doing, folks, engine number 2 first. One click, right click, left click, and we're going to watch the N2s come up. Once we're at 17, in between 17 and 25%, we can bring the fuel on. Looks like a good light off. You can see the numbers building up top here. But again, folks, this is the ZIBO. I'll show it to you in a minute how you can make sure what you have is up to date. But just making sure we're stable. We are. Okay. I always like to try to do my generators first to get the other engine going. I'm going to try and get you a link to that Google Drive where the latest, greatest version is. If you go to the other site, you're going to get the most stable version. So you could run into some issues with this one. But folks, I haven't yet, and this has been a phenomenal update. I'm also running beta 2 for X-Plane 1208. And again, I think 08 has been really a good program. It's more in the flight dynamics that they're working and tweaking. And if you remember me pointing this out up here, folks, see where the carrots are in the numbers? That's our max for takeoff. Alright, and we are stable. So, first thing I always do is get us on the generators. Okay. Now, let's see. Pack started. Alright, so now we can get System A on the hydraulics. Coming down, AC/DC voltmeter. Today we're going to run on number 2. I haven't run on that one. Probe heaters on. Anti-ice switch. I told you we're going to run with the anti-ice. And left and right packs on. Isolation valve open. APU bleed to the off position. And once you get the APU bleed off, you can actually shut the APU down. Always double check you have the blue light here for the APU being available. If you don't, once that spins down and the generator disengages, you go dark. Alright, and there we go. It'll spin down here once it cools. Alright, next up, flaps 1. Auto brake, reject. AT. Okay. And going to do quick systems check, looks good, and gonna check our, wait, let's get a little bit. Alright folks, sorry about coughing in your ear if I did. All right, so left. Okay, we're going to do that again. There we go. I always want to make sure, you saw how it spiked real quick? I want to make sure it doesn't do that. Rudders. Elevator. Now, if I had to be nitpicky about Boeing, not ZIBO, not the other sim, Boeing. One thing I like about the Airbuses, it tells you your trim right here, along your wheel. Okay, but it also says so up here. I kind of really like that in the Airbus and other aircraft we use. And of course, you know, FlyJSim, we just click in the green. It doesn't work that way here. So we got to go to the init page. Go here and just go right to takeoff. It'll tell you 550. Out right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go, yeah, we'll stay there because it gives us that, and that can be cleared. All right, I think we're ready to taxi, folks. Heading bug on runway, almost. How it is. Lower cam, blank. Blankety blank, 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 blank. And we're ready to taxi. Here we go. We're going to taxi down the road the vehicles use. Kind of funny. Now this base is, I understand it, and you guys please correct me if I misspoke here, is a big heavy cargo training base. By heavy, I don't mean a lot of cargo planes here. I mean the heavies, the C-17, the KC-10, the KC-46, and so forth. Train their pilots here, along with the C-17s. And I'm sure there's other aircraft, you know, in the arsenal that are trained here. Those are the ones you would know. Oh my, we crossed the red line. Oh Lord. Oh, what's security forces gonna do? Actually, why don't I first get my lights on? Alright. Okay, so again, I think this is a phenomenal mod. I really look forward to it when I come up and fly out of a gate. I did a little bit of playing with it Saturday, and again, very little, and that's when I was astonished at what happens with this aircraft. So, and again, I can't stress this enough, folks. We spend a lot of money on our favorite habits called flight sim, and to hear this whole mod to the 737 that comes with X-Plane 12 is free is just outstanding. You do not hear that much anymore. X-Plane, you still get to hear that word a bit. The rest of the sim community, no. Pay an arm and a leg for the sim, and you pay an arm and a leg again for add-ons, and your neighbors add, you know, arm and a leg, and maybe other body parts. Be able to enjoy what we do. Alright, let's get up here and do our final 4 takeoff checks, and we're going to head on out of here. And no, we are not going to be on VATSIM again today, folks. Mainly because we are testing. We don't know what to expect with this plane, but tomorrow's flight we plan to be on, and I'll go over that here in a second. Matter of fact, right before we release brakes, I'll do that. In a second. Tomorrow's flight, which will be the last stream of the week. Oh, that's right. We are going to be in the TOLUS A320neo. We're going to pick up where we left off Friday, I think it was, in Bahrain, and head over to Kathmandu. It seems like a lot farther of a flight than that, but hey, we're going to find out. So, tomorrow will be a fun flight. For sure. Alright, final checks. Alright, before takeoff, engine start switches. Okay, again, remember they're right here. Go to continuous, one click to the right.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Alright, that's what we wanted to hear. Brakes are in reject. Landing lights, we'll get those on the runway. Position lights we'll get going here in a second. ATC or TARA, and we need to, and we've got those set. Alright, and that being BNAV, LNAV, armed. Alright folks, I think we are ready. Lower cam is blanked. We're ready to go. And to turn the strobes on, you see how this switch, if you read it, position, strobe, and steady. Steady is all the way down. It's a 3-way switch. So up from off here is your strobe and steady. Down from the off is steady only. Here we go. Lights on. And I'm going to show an interesting short key on here that I didn't know existed, but behold, was there for us. Arm the auto throttle for it to work. Roger, clear for takeoff, 36 left, reach 18. Alright, go. I bring them up to 60% to start with. Instead of hitting my toga switch, hit the mic.
$80 knots.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Boy, that went right there on us, folks.
400.
She is already wanting to.
1,000.
Alright, auto has it. Oh boy. I don't know if it's gonna let me do this. Yep, I didn't think it'd let me. Oh well. Alright, so we've hit an intermediate climb point of 7,000 feet. We're just going to let it climb itself out. Alright, let's get our auto brake off. Flaps are up. And let's check everything else out. We're set good still. Alright, I was trying to see if I could start ACARS. I couldn't. I'll have to fly this flight again another day. Bummer. Oh well. See how far we're restricted here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna kill this. Hang on a second, folks. And what I was doing was just cleaning it up so to climb. Basically keeping us down below 7,000 feet for whatever traffic may be nearby. Alright, there we go, folks. We are on our way. $10,000. Okay, and at 10,000 we turn the lights off, engine starts, could go to auto. We're going to keep them continuous since we're still mashing on it to get up in the air. Once we hit cruise, we'll make sure the center pumps, which are already empty, do our AP and FMS checks, and prepare for descent. And why do we get dinged? Oh, TAI. And we'll go ahead and turn off the wing engine ice right now. Okay, engine ice on. Alright, folks, we're on our way. Let's see, I don't have the overlay in place. Let me put that up there. And you can see this is a really short down flight. Hope you all enjoy. And we're headed for Roswell. Was gonna log this with Sim Air Force, but we'll do that maybe later today. Catch us again, and we'll see how it goes. But you know what, folks? We're having so much fun. Let's just keep blasting on. So, boy, this ZIBO is outstanding. Again, here it is, in case you're curious. I love showing how to find it. Fire up your sim, go to ZIBO, find your EFB, which is right by your pilot. Click the question mark. It's going to be right here. Mine says RC5.8. They are testing 5.9. Folks, these update about once or twice a week. All you have to do, and I'm going to get you that link here. Stand by. I recommend going to this page first. Okay, hang on. I know you don't see it yet. There it is. This link first, and then about midway to 3/4 of the way down, you'll see installation, and then below that, download links. Look for ZIBO Mod 800X. Google Drive, drive.google.com. Click there, and then go to X-Plane 12. Scroll down, you'll find the very latest release candidate, public release, they call it, available to you. Right now it's 5.8, or at least when I checked during pre-flight. And folks, I just can't recommend this aircraft enough. So I hope you enjoyed, and hope you're enjoying everything. OBS just disconnected. All right, folks. If you are listening to us on YouTube and watching us, continue. Twitch, folks, we'll be back here in a moment. It looks like Twitch disconnected. It's attempting to reconnect. So, there it is. So, great. My Twitch users, I hope all come back. But you can always catch this on YouTube uninterrupted, because we are videoing at the same time. We're having internet issues. So I'm glad we weren't up on VATSIM, because that would have been a headache for them. Oh, Spectrum, how much we hate you. Alright, folks, I am going to throw that link for YouTube up there. Again, you can catch all of our flights up there on YouTube all the time. So, and usually without a miss. Here, we had one. Still showing some troubles here. Hang on a second, I want to see what showing on Twitch. Very unstable. Yep. Thank you, good old Spectrum, for being the unreliable. Is it normal that you can't open the SimRe flight plan, don't have the sim? should, well, define, you've got to be in the sim for it to be opened. But I'm not really, are you trying to open it with like a notepad? Oh, on a Mac. Oh, I hope that sim downloader doesn't require you to be on a Windows-based program. That part of SimBrief, I am not sure. Canadian Hyper, I really don't know. I don't have a Mac to test that out on. And I don't think my wife will let me use her Mac to fly a sim. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive she will. So, so I don't know how SimBrief interacts on a Mac. I really don't. I hope some of our community out there could help out here. Yeah, I really don't know the answer to that. I don't know. Do you have Discord? And hang on a second. Give me a second. I'm looking for his Discord link. Really? It's not. Oh. Really? Just go another way. No, there's always ways to get around this. See if I can't. Why can't I find his Discord link? Okay, let me try one other way. Have to be very careful. All right. What I would do there, I'm sorry, it took me a little bit there. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can make it go. Try this link. What it's going to take you to is Skymatic's Discord. He's the guy that does the ZIBO testing and all. And pose your question there. Because I really don't know with Max and all how that works. And he's part of the development of ZIBO, so hopefully he'll be able to answer that question for you. Sorry it took me a while to find it. Figured it'd be in easier places. But that's his Discord channel. And that's how I find out when things are updated on here. Hopefully you can get into Discord on a Mac. That I don't know either without, because I don't run one. Because I don't know how that sim brief down. Because see, what happens is there are 2 files you need for this to work. And they're both, let me see if I can bring them up. Real quick here, as we are. Okay, cool. Sim Toolkit. Because you have to download for it to work in ZIBO. And I see we just went to a break. Doing here 5,000 to go. Okay. Alright folks, sorry about that. Give me a second here as we round out the climb here. And then we're going to get right into getting this plane programmed for landing, because it's going to come up pretty quick. And any kind of issues with the Twitch stream and all, folks, my apologies ahead of time. I have no idea what the heck's going on with our internet. But yeah, I'm showing it very unstable, so. Again, as I was just pointing out to our subscribers, anything, if you miss, check us on YouTube, folks, here later today. I am showing an unstable platform. Oh, now it's excellent. Okay. Well, it hasn't updated on my stream. Okay. Anyway, let's do this real quick. So what you're going to need is the ZIBO mod and this XML. Let me try that again. Wow. XML data file. When you download this one, I get it on a page. Now, Mac may do it a little different, but I get a page and I don't know how to make it to where it would work. The sim downloader puts it right where I need it. Hopefully that works for you. I just don't know what's involved. So, again, sorry, not much help in that area. Still kind of new to all of this fangle-dangle technology here. Believe me, if I could go to a Mac and still fly for the VAs I fly for, gone. See you, Microsoft. Completely. But anyway, alright, so we're showing an ETE of 30 minutes. That's the, betcha the XML file. And if that's it, that's where the downloader will put it into your flight sim package where it needs to go. You point it to where it needs to go and it tells you. But again, with the Mac and all, I'm always hesitant because I don't know a lot about how the flight sim and all works. It should work identical. There are some works between the two that I'm not totally familiar with. Alright, I'm going to bring up charts here, folks. We're going to get right into the landing arrival brief and setting this up for, bear with me a second, folks. Got to get rid of this. Alright, and bring this up. Close that out. Coming up to dumps. And then from dumps to CME. Alright. Now, the easiest way to figure out what we're going to land on is you can click right here, get the VTAR. Nasty cough is still trying to hang on. It doesn't want to give up. What I would do then, Canadian Hyper, that if you need the link to their Discord channel, let me know. I'll send it to you, and we'll get you going with them. All right, get this first set up. Of course, there we go. All right. So what I do here is, okay, so we got 350 at 18, gusting to 23. So we want to aim for a 350-ish runway. Okay. I'm just not certain 350 is going to really be the best for us. So I'm going to aim for runway 3. Okay, and that's a 13,000-foot runway. That works for me. The terminal is right over here, so we'll kind of aim for right in here. So we're going to land runway 3. Okay, let's close that. Now, let's come down to approaches. You see, we don't have any stars. So we'll select an approach. And it looks like, oh, they're doing 3.5. I got to change that. Hang on. I'll show you how to change it. Cancel. All right. First thing we got to do is change this. Let's go with runway 3.
1,000 to go.
Okay, and then we're going to see what approaches are available. Oh, look at all of those. How did runway 2 get into the woods here? Her back course. Oh, that's how. Alright, well, let's see what this RNAV looks like. Okay, this is not looking very fun, but let's go ahead and do it. So, RNAV, CME, add. What did that do? Two things. One, put this down here. Two, come into CME, come down to Monic, come out, we'll do a procedure turn around, come in. Okay? Pretty simple. That's not too bad. Let's see how it loads up, though. All right. Now, get ready for the plane to turn here, folks. Just warning you ahead of time. Roswell, arrival. Which RNAV are we doing again? So what did I click on? With the localizer? Here we go. Nav. Okay, and look this way. Okay, so let's look at the legs here. All right, now I know you all aren't seeing it right now, so bear with me. Okay. So, from CME, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to come down to Geisick, hit the procedure turn here, come into Lickick, Custal, right in. Okay. All right, there you go. The good news, the aircraft stayed on course. If it would have veered off course, which it has been known to do in many people's sims, just click heading select, folks. If you keep your heading up to date, you'll at least get it wings level, then work your direct out as quickly as you can. Okay, so there you have it. That's our arrival. Real quick, look at it here. See it on how far out are we? It's like about 80 miles. We're going to have a short run here. Okay, there's our ATIS approach, Albuquerque. 18.5, which is tower or CTAF. It's a GPS approach. Final approach course 035 and Custal at 5,300 feet, which is only a little over 1,600 feet above the ground. Minimum 250 feet. Alright, again, Geisick, and then we're going to do our procedure, which is basically a procedure turn back inbound. So what I think I'll do is just keep on the current heading when we hit 188 or Geisick, continue it for 1 minute, and then swing around at about 160 and prepare, or 180 for the approach. There we go, folks. About 800 feet a minute, start to set. Minimums. Okay, we are allowed 3/4 of a mile visibility, 200 feet for the ceiling on the clouds. Once the clouds are above 250 feet, broken or overcast, good to fly the approach. If they're below it, we may have to go to the alternate. We'll have to see when we get there, depending on what the reasoning is. If it's fog, you may wait. If it's not, you may just right now head over to Albuquerque. And there you go, folks. There's our arrival brief. Even put us on the airplane as we come over Lubbock right now. Let's go. Must be in some serious turbulence. All right, top of descent is coming up. So let's get our checks done here. Got one more to do. Actually, you don't connect a sim brief to X-Plane. I use Sim Toolkit to show it, but you don't really connect it. And so with ZIBO, it's all done by, I actually don't even know how ZIBO does it, but they do. Because I honestly have not told it my account information. Hang on a second. Sorry about that, folks. All right, let me get this going here. Top Cat. Ah, what happened to my departure airport LTS? There we go. Landing. Update. Yeah, landing 2-1 would not be recommended. However, runway 3 will be. What is up with this aircraft wanting to... Hang on. It's reminiscent of the Hercules issue. It is. What the heck is going on with my rudder? My rudder's deflected. Okay, let's try something here. My rudder is deflected. Why is it deflected? I'll be able to clear this in flight or not. That's what's going on. My rudder is deflected. That's going to make it fun for landing. Alright, well, that's why we're having issues with lateral stability here. Something's up with the rudder. Alright, so basically what I did, put us on runway 3, updated the winds, and put us on flaps 30, and we're going to use auto brakes 2, which is plenty for a 13,000 foot runway computed, and we're looking at a landing speed of 128, approach 140. Why such a disparity? But anyway, so that's what we're looking at. Another thing you could do, come over here, input as much as you can here. $16. Let's do it simply. And estimating 109.0. Alright, let's see what that gets us halfway down the runway. Okay, bumped us up a little. Alright, and that's the other way you could do this. Then, all you got to do is come up here, go to your init ref. 129, sounds good. Boom, you're set for your arrival. Alright, I think that I'm going to... I use a, it's now called Logitech, but it's the old Satec X52 Pro flight stick that looks like a fighter HOTAS stick and throttle. So, and Satec had that thing where you had to always calibrate it. I haven't calibrated in a while, so we'll do that once we get on the ground. I do not know what's going on here with this rudder issue, though. I've never had this with ZIBO. And I'll be honest, it could very well be part of an issue with 5.8, whatever it's called. And, you know, there's nothing I can do except either go back one or wait for 09 to come out, or whatever they're, 5.9. All right. Okay, so descent checklist, since we're 20 miles out. And I knew this was a fast flight, folks, so that's why can't really dwell in a lot of areas. What, without my yoke? It's possible. Hard, extremely hard, but it is possible there, Canadian Hyper. Oh, excuse me for the sniffle. But I don't know if it's, let's just check basics here. Basics are working fine. Oh, kidding me. I think I may have found the problem. I found the problem. It was one thing I've noticed with my flight yokes, that occasionally the cords somehow start working their way out. I personally think it's one of those little gremlins. Subscribers, I'm going to repeat myself here, just because I think Canadian Hyper doesn't subscribe. But oh, SimBrief, in this plane, if that isn't connecting over to you, real quick, and then I'll get back to, I just fixed my problem, and I know what it was, and it irritates me. But anyway, come over here, go to home, weight and balance, and this, on page 2, you'll have this area, fill it in. You'll have the word activate up here, and it should work for you that way. So if you've got SimBrief up on your screen, just put in the passengers, cargo, and see if the 0 fuel matches, and the fuel. It should work that way. All right, let me, oops, page 2. And to those curious about my flight stick, I just found cables slightly loose between my throttle and my flight yoke, or flight stick. I swear to gosh, I think it's gremlins, and I can't find them. And I think William Shatner's going to be yelling out the window, if you've seen the Twilight Zone movie, at the gremlins. Actually, I think that was the original Twilight Zone. But anyway, descent in this plane. Okay, you have a couple of ways to do it. You have altitude intervention. Push the button. Make sure you set a number lower than what you're at, which we'll do. It's a good question. Above 6,500. Okay. Let's come on down. 7,000. Okay, you can push the button here, and that'll start a descent. Pretty simple. You can also either push descent if that's showing here, DES, or if that says VNAV, click on it, and then either next page or whatever to get to the descent page. It'll look something like this. Forecast, go in, request your winds. And it will not fill in here, or at least it didn't last time I did this. Load. Yeah, it didn't load them in again. But most importantly, you got your transition level. Europeans, you'll know this thing big time because every airport's different. But from here, you could click. I think we're in descent right now. I'm just going to do it this way. But you would have seen descent now. And that's how you can get this thing descending. I still recommend trying to keep your course pretty close to what you're doing. See how it's now true. One of it was just slightly off kilt in one of my controllers, and it did it again to me. And I'm glad you pointed that out, even though you weren't aiming with the flight yoke. There, Canadian Hyper. Thank you so much, though, for that, because got me looking in the right place. Okay, now, Airbus and Boeing, folks, you're looking at pretty much kind of a same display feature, just different icons. Airbus, if you remember, in a manage descent, you have a green dot coming down here that you got to keep between here. That's the manage. That is where you're on profile for your descent. Here in Boeing, it's like your glide slope needle. Also in Boeing, you get this neat little gauge over here on your nav display showing your A&P and R&P, real navigation performance, actual navigation performance. This are the numbers you need it to be to shoot certain approaches. So be mindful of what they say. And then that little caret right here going up and down shows you how you're faring on your approach, on your setup. All right, I know I have been going a mile a minute here, almost faster than the plane is traveling across the ground. And that's one thing that kind of irritates me when I watch YouTube videos, how fast they rattle the information off. I know they're going, well, you can always hit rewind. Can't necessarily in Twitch. So I apologize for firing a whole lot of information out there at light speed. It is going to be available on YouTube later today. Check it out. I'm going to try and do another flight tonight, and hopefully tonight on VATSIM. Not 100% sure of my schedule. We'll see, or 100% sure how awake I'll be, but we'll try. And it may be this flight again. So we'll see. Just so I can get it up so I'm current with Sim Air Force, and get them current with the VSOA requirements. The military operation on VATSIM, meaning we could actually, not in this plane, but say I'm flying the KC-46. You've all seen that up here. And say a fighter comes along, needs fuel. Boom, we can actually connect. Or you want to play with a fighter and go into these military areas and go blow things up. Great, you know how to activate it and all of that, so you can tell VATSIM it's hot. Then it's up to the VATSIM controller to reroute you around it. Landing will be in approximately 15 minutes. And I say that fingers crossed because I'm not 100% sure. Oh, now if I could just, the cold itself that I had last week has finally wound itself down, and I can actually sleep at night without hacking my lungs up most of the night. But now I just wish then post-nasal drip would stop. I got a feeling I got to deal with that for the rest of my life. Well, I've dealt with it up to this point pretty much. So, but folks, it has been a pleasure having you all aboard. Thank you for taking time out, especially those of you here in the U.S. that may be joining us. Folks, this is a crazy week for a lot of people here in the U.S. It's Thanksgiving week, Thanksgiving this Thursday, and if I just shocked you and you're in total panic mode, sorry, because you know what, there are a couple people, I believe it or not, at work got caught off guard that Thanksgiving is this week. I wish you all, because I don't know who all will be on this week. We only have one more stream, and that's tomorrow. Mainly because I work Wednesday. Doubtful at all I'll be able to get on Thanksgiving Day. Matter of fact, not even planning on it. And then Friday, Saturday, I work out at the airport again. So this is really the only 2 days of the week I'll be able to do this. So I really, again, want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Be very thankful, folks. You know, we have a lot here in the United States. Even for those of you that I don't have anything, you have actually more than a lot of people. And it's sometimes hard to see that. I get it. And I just wish you all the happiest of Thanksgivings as we set our eyes on the real reason for the whole season. So that comes up at the end of next month. What do I do at work? I am an airport firefighter at Mid-America Airport, which is a joint use airport with Scott Air Force Base. Our side handles the civilian airline Allegiant. But yeah, I'm an airport firefighter, so technically public safety, because I got a lot of hats that I wear at work. If you have ever seen that one commercial with the lady with hats stacked up to the ceiling on top of her when she's looking for a new job, I kind of feel like that sometimes out there. I wish I remember what the commercial was for, but might be Indeed for all I know. But yeah, I feel like that a lot out there. But thankfully, we're not busy. I'd be scared to death to tell you if we were a busy department out there what that would actually mean. We'll leave that set there. We're coming through 18,000. Let's get the latest and greatest altimeter setting, hopefully. 20, 21, 19, 50. That's cool. Winds are now 0, 1, 0 at 17, starting to really favor 3. And 3001. Let's get that in.
Hawk 125 just G 20 bits.
Thank you for those biddies.
Alright, so okay, we're below transition, 18,000, and I just heard something. Hawker 125 cheering 20 bits on there. Appreciate you, sir, and have a happy Thanksgiving to yourself. And thank you so much for the support you've given over these 29 months from your resubscribe and everything in between. I sure appreciate you moderating and cheering us on with the bits. Thank you, sir. Alright, I'm trying to get to a point where I can set this. Okay, we're getting better. To see how we're working, because here's our runway. This approaches out to here. And we're going to work our way back to, I want to say Gecko so bad, but Geisick. Don't ask me how I get Gecko out of that. But I do. Okay, we're coming down to 7,000 here. All right, so seatbelt signs, make sure they're on, and they never came off. We're at 15,000, so we'll hold on the lights. Altimeter settings, let's get our IL. Are we on an ILS? No. RNAV. Okay, so we don't have to back it up. All right, couple more things to point out in front of you here. Okay, we talked about the altitude intervention switch. Well, there's also one for speed. Now, as you all know, you get below 10,000 feet. It's not specified above ground level. It's just 10,000 feet. Now, you can imply that, because let's just say that our airport is at 8,000 MSL, like Telluride. Somewhere, I think it's actually 9. Well, 10,000 feet, folks, is only 1,000 feet above the ground. However, most small planes aren't going to be above that. I mean, there's now a few with the turbochargers that get up, but if they're at normally aspirated engines, they're not getting much above 10, maybe 12. Absolute 13 is the highest I've ever seen one I flew. So, and I pushed a Cessna 172 right up to the ceiling at 12,000, and she fell like she was supposed to. It was I just wanted to see and what it would do, and yeah, she fell. Regained, and we got back down to around 8, 9, 10,000, and we had fun doing our training, and then we headed back to the airport. But I just wanted to see what it looked like. I know I'm weird like that. Okay, I am going to go ahead and set 6,500. And I'm going to couple things here. Yeah, minimum is 6,500, so we're going to go right down to it. And then we're going to hit Geisick, do that quick procedure turn to come back inbound. All right, now procedure turn. What that basically means, if I remember right, I wish we had Matt Air on to help correct me. Hey, if any of you are IFR rated, correct me, please. I hate giving out wrong information. We're going to basically come in and continue on, or at a different angle, and flip around to come back inbound when you're into clouds. When you can see, it's a whole different ballgame. But the idea of an RNAV approach is the clouds are at 66,000 and you're at 6,500, so you're in them. Can't see, so that's how you stay safe and make a turn to come back in for the runway. Because as you can see on the gauge here, that's a pretty tight turn if we try to make it, and then you got to gauge the descent. So stand by, we just crossed 10,000 lights. I like doing this. All right, set my heading 9-4. Okay, here's where it gets kind of fun. And what you do, folks, is you basically, what I'm doing here is I'm actually just going to kick it. What's my inbound course again? 035. So 183. I actually could just keep going for a minute and then make the turn to come back to Geisick. So that's what I'm going to plan on doing. And like I said, we're going to intervene with the speed.
1,000 to go.
Right there on the flaps up speed. Let's go ahead. $70. And now we're slowing to our speed. Now I'm going to roll us into 215. Laps 5. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and arm my spoilers and set brakes to 2. Now, here's the tricky part. ILS, it's a piece of cake. You just intercept. And once I get on here, I'm going to make Lykic our fix. Okay, I'm going to do that now. Back to LNAV. And now we begin looking for our airport. Okay, so Geisick is 6,300 feet.
2,500.
Lysick is 57. Let's go to 50. All right, and we're inbound. Roswell traffic, reach 18, inbound on the RNAV, 6 miles from Lykic for runway 3.
Thousand to go.
And I still do not see our run. That's it right there. Right down. And where is this rain coming from? Besides the sky. Gustal is 5,300 feet, folks. And that's when we begin our descent for the runway. And I hope to have it fully in sight so we can start down on it. But again, thanks for taking some time out this week, folks. I know for most of the world, they don't follow our Thanksgiving Day. But thank you anyway for taking some time out of your day. Those of you in the U.S., thank you so much for this crazy week that you carved out some time for us before you carved old Tom Turkey. And thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Thank you, Hawker, for the resubscribe and the bits, as well as Anthony Ella 401, who followed us a couple days ago that I didn't remember seeing or acknowledging. So I just wanted to say thank you. Go with the gear down, set up for 40. I now have a runway inside. I would have been, wait, what runway is that? I would have been way off aiming for that. There it is. Okay, we're going on our own. All right, let's see how we do now that we've got that all fixed. Gear down, flaps 25, flaps 30. Try that again. Go. Oh, much better, folks. Down we go. Throttles are mine. Lights, brakes, gear 3 green, flaps 30,
1,000.
speed brakes armed. Boy, that wind is really pushing us about. E53 at 20.
Approaching minimums.
Landing stable.
Minimum.
By the way, folks, this was an old SAC Air Force
300.
base back in the Cold. And like I said, I told you the claim to fame they got from
200.
the UFO incident.
100.
Hey, got the run we made.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Into reverse.
Knots.
Out reverse. This intersection right. My luck, it's an intersection to no. You're all going, what are all of these airliners doing here? This is one of those boneyards out there, folks, for storing aircraft. That's what its claim to fame is today. Gonna just taxi up in be. Actually, we'll turn here on Bravo. All right, and again, welcome to Roswell. I know discontinuity. I know discontinuity. Alright, folks, let's just find our way to the terminal here, and then we'll work our way over towards parking spots, since we don't have to go to the terminal. Yeah, a lot of airlines store their aircraft here, so neat little, this is the first time I've been into this airport. It's one of those I've been meaning to go to. Usually in the past sims, Air Force bases look like crap. Any military base looks like mud. And X-Plane has done a fair job with them. I'll say fair, and I get it, folks. They're not heavily flown by the simmers. I get that. Microsoft usually just throws a run. Hopefully they've changed their tune in the new sim. But in the past sims, it was just a runway. I had to go in and actually add parking ramps, ILS information, all kit and caboodle. It just got old that they couldn't do that for us. So hopefully with them now using Earth, I think it is. No. What is my Bing? That they're able to do something better for the military bases. Wouldn't know, have no desire, so. Alright, but again, flatlands of Roswell, mountains in the distance. Just kind of a little city here, folks. And like I said, this used to be an old Air Force base back in the World War II, Cold War days. Couldn't tell you if which aircraft were here and when Walker finally closed, which I still thought it was called Roswell. That's just me. I will say, I think that's the first airport lines that I've actually seen the word stop. Now, I'd like to see, do the AI vehicles actually stop? Oh, wow. Sorry about that, folks. But their terminal is right there. That's why we're parking way down here. All right, folks, so here we come in. We're going to pull in here and park. Just do it like we would normally. All right, we are in the blocks. Let's make sure. I don't think I turned this. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, good. All right, folks, we are in the blocks. Lights off. And I did not turn the EPU. Can you play without SimBrief? Of course you can. SimBrief is just a flight planner. You don't need to have SimBrief to actually fly these aircraft. It just helps you plan what your numbers are for your fuel, for performance in putting it in to make sure things, how you'll perform out. Ultimately, do you need it? No, but it's a free utility if you use it. But it does not connect in any way to the sim other than how ZIBO does, and I don't know how that is. But again, it's not required for ZIBO. And again, if I didn't say that earlier, Canadian Hyper, my apologies. Ultimately, you do not need SimBrief at all to fly X-Plane, at all to fly even Microsoft. It's just a flight planning utility where you can get routes, where you can set up a flight so you can go from, say, Roswell to Dallas, and whatever routes are out there, it'll pull. But ultimately, it's it's your call. You just load your route up. If you want to just go Roswell to Dallas or London to Vienna and just go direct, you're more than welcome to without SimBrief. It's just a planning tool. Just like Sim Toolkit, which allows you on streaming to see this nice overlay at the top, and a few of the other features we'll show off here in a second. But it too is nothing is required other than the sim. That's all you need to go fly. I recommend a flight system of some kind, be it a yoke, be it a stick, be it a throttle stick. But again, you can fly it right off the keyboard if you're that good. This guy is not. Yeah, you can just download the flight plan, and here, I'll show you, because it should have cleared out of here by now. Menu, FMC. You'll go through this page, come up to route, put in your origin, your destination, go to your next page. Okay, you wouldn't be able to if you did. And then put in your route that it says there, or that's all you would need, and the aircraft will fly it. Plain and simple. But if you want to step it up, you can get a little bit more fancier with SimBrief and all of that. And again, it's standalone, does not connect to the sim. Only use it like I showed you over here to help plan, get the plane loaded the way you did it on SimBrief. But you don't need it if you don't want it. It's an optional utility out there that's just really good at helping you plan flights. All right, speaking of this flight, let's get the generator on. Let the APU bleed on. Oh, I didn't do some of the fun, like turn on the terrain radar so we could see what we flew over. All that good fun stuff. And anything else? You talking about, I don't have, ooh, it's all of that fun down here. Huh. Sorry, I just interesting things going. Hang on a second. Let me get these engines killed. And turn that off. Okay. All right, so we got the aircraft shut down. I actually don't know if anything's going to happen automatically. It does. Look at that. Huh. But folks, we are on the ground here at Roswell, and what application we have here, folks. Here. way I used to do this as a kid. The fence, okay. Okay, a little thick on the wiring, but hey, they don't want you in there, so they thicken the wire up. Get that, folks. None of that I keyed except for the chocks and the GPU. All right, so let's get in here. I don't have a VA to walk through here. Hang on. Of course, now my cough is deciding to come back. All right, so let's take some toolkit. Again, you don't have to have this to fly it. It's just a nicety to have in helping you plan your flights. Okay, and review, which is what we're going to do. Let's get rid of sim brief here. Okay, we landed at 184 feet a minute, really slow at 117, which is good. We still got about a G on the landing, so didn't wake them up too much. We'll finish the flight. And let's take a look at it now. View details. All right, so it was an hour and a half in the air, 274 miles. We burned just under 3,000 kilograms of fuel, and 184 feet a minute landing at 117. That's not bad. Let's see how it looked on the run. This is where I tell people you learn a lot about your landing. Okay, we landed runway 30, 303. Ugh, this cough. We landed a little long, 2,300 feet down the runway. Again, that is measured from the threshold. Now, some runways have a displace, this one doesn't. So from this white line, which is the legal point to land forward, landed about, we're still well within the landing zone, and it's very hard to see here, so we're not going to try to depict it. But you can see all the aircraft stored. Hawker, you may have a place to go find cages. Just saying. I look at this number, 2,300 feet on a 13,000 foot. That means I had 11,000 feet of runway left to go. I think we got off at this one, by the way. And only a foot and a half off the center line. Folks, that's pretty good. So I'm not going to complain. All right, and away with Sim Toolkit. All right, folks, I am going to wrap it up here. And we had a great, you know what? No, let's see if we can. I'm not sure how this is all going to work out. But hang on a second. How do you turn it off? Is my thing. Oh, it's not active now. Cool. Oh, so that means I do it. Okay. All right. Stairs up. Chocks off. 2, 3, closed. And I am going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Like I said, this cold has been kicking me in many different parts of my body. And I will be right back. We're going to review the flight and we'll call it a day. Stand by. We'll be right back. All right, folks, my apologies. Last week, like I said, I was plagued with this cold. This week, I'm plagued with the aftermath of the finally getting rid of it. Oh well, it is what it is. Welcome to life as a human. All right, like I said, we're going to go ahead and try and rewind this and learn watching the aircraft. So let's try that. I only buttoned it up because sometimes some of these flight models won't. It kind of looks funny with the air stare and the doors open. And this is a built-in feature of X-Plane 12 when it works. And in this case, it's gonna lock up. Well, crud. All right, folks. Well, sorry for that. I was really hoping for a great replay. But instead, it didn't work out that way. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you again for spending a little extra time with us. And we'll see you again tomorrow. We'll be in the A320 Neo going from Bahrain over to Kathmandu, Nepal. And we'll be flying for Millennium Aviation. Matt Air, how are you, man? Sorry that the sim just crashed on us. If you don't have it, and folks out there, if you don't have it, let me go back here and do this one more time. Bear with me a second. 1 second, 1 second. I want you all, if you enjoy, this ZIBO model, folks, I can't recommend enough to you now. This is just downright unreal what ZIBO has done for us. Head over to this link over in the X-Plane forums. When you get there, scroll about 2/3, 3/4 of the way down to the download links. You'll see link ZIBO 737 X-Ray. Go to the Google Drive, and then look for X-Plane 12. Scroll down and find the latest and greatest version. Right now it's 5.8, but it could be 5.9 now. And folks, you are about to, I'm still in total awe of this aircraft. That was just flat out amazing. Watching everything automated, folks. Door openings. In our case, being a military aircraft, we're not going into a gate 9 out of 10 times. So seeing the air stare out, the doors open, I was just, it starts um, the whole process, and it is unreal. Original Godspeed, welcome aboard. It is 5.8 is just out of this world. And I am in the right place to say out of this world, Roswell, because of the out of this world event that occurred in the 40s. But anyway, it is amazing, folks. Check it out. I gave you the link. And folks, prepare to be wowed, especially if you're a user with SimBrief. Holy mackerel. Again, Canadian Hyper, it's not a requirement to have SimBrief. Just fire the sim up, have your fun. You don't have to use SimBrief. It's just a great flight planning tool, and you can plug things in manually or just fly direct. That's just as fun too sometimes. So I don't know if 5.9 is out yet, Original Godspeed, but I know they've been flying it on YouTube. So who knows? It could be already. So, all right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you tomorrow. There could be another stream tonight. Be watching. We may fly this one again or continue on from here and go from there. So, thank you for flying with Mike. God bless you all. Hey, if you're in the U.S., have a happy Thanksgiving. The rest of you all, have a great week. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow or possibly tonight if I have time. And give me a second here. So again, you all have a great week. Tomorrow is the A320 out of Bahrain to Kathmandu. Tonight, if we fly, it will be ZIBO, just not sure where yet. So we'll see you on our next stream. And again, Hawker, thanks for the resubscribe and the biddies. Anthony Uloa 401, thanks for this following a couple days ago. Y'all have a great day. Alright folks, we're going to send this over to Iron Condor Simulations, those of you on Twitch. Looks like he's in the Microsoft Flight Simulator GA of some kind, not sure. Enjoy.